Alright guys, Hypnos here, back doing another set. I know I said Ray'd be doing this a lot, but he apparently got one of his import games in and twisted his fingers up into a knot. So until he can actually hold a control pad decently, I'm kind of taking over to keep this from dying us. This one's Tightrope Tussle. I know it's got nothing to do with bondage porn this time. Though given who's involved with this, I'm sure you can understand why you might think that way. It's not even any real... Okay, for a 2D game, yeah, there's tight ropes, but they're actually more like conveyor belts. You know, there's no danger of falling off them. You know, except for these big-ass gaps here where... Fuck it, this level's pretty self-explanatory, really. Bits and pieces of it move back and forth, but yeah, there's no real difficulty to it. The footballs are back, and again, I've explained the reason the creator seems to like them is they bounce off at odd angles a lot, which, you know, perfectly fits in with his love of fucking with you. Going for the Yoshi coins, they're pretty easy in this level. And yeah, I still hate the goddamn chucks, or whatever they're called properly. I'm losing my knowledge of Mario thanks to this game, it's horrifying, really. Fire flower now, so we're pretty much safe once you got one of those. Because, you know, arson is the solution to all violent problems. Except the ones already involving fire. As the greater part of southeastern Australia could have told you last summer. Well, they can't tell you now because there's really not that much left of it. Easy one here, grab the Yoshi coin, fireball the hell out of this guy. If you didn't have the fire flower, he'd be a pain in the ass. But, you know, we do, so no big deal there. Actually, for a level that's supposed to be about tight ropes, it's got a surprising amount of hanging ropes. I don't know, what would be the tightrope equivalent of that? No, something. But it'd be interesting. You know, more of the fuzzies running up and down. He seems to really like his, you know, vaguely defined black fuzzy things. Them, the ninjas, the hoppers, they're all over the fucking place. And no, I'm not going to go and do a necro on this one, so, you know, you can put the lynch mobs away, please. More saw blades, they're tinted pink this time. I don't know how you tint a saw blade pink. I got a feeling it involves bloodshed of some sort, but yeah, maybe not. All the Yoshi coins. So it's really quick in this level to grab them. I don't know why, but it's a pretty short level actually. More saw blades. I swear some of these are actually not meant to be done without getting hit unless you cheat like I did. Well, cheat's a relative term. I'm not doing anything that couldn't theoretically be done on a console. It's just I have an infinite number of tries to get it looking right. I'm not even going to bother trying to get stars. We don't fucking use them. That's one level down. The next... No, there's no double exits on this set, so you got 3 completely separate levels. Again, you'll notice video skip. I'm doing them level by level now. And this is Stonewall Falls. It's an underground one. Not that I remember much about it. I was very, very drunk while playing this. With all the footballs bouncing around, I'm sure you can see why I didn't really want to do this one without being a little bit impaired. And I regretted it really quickly because this section level is just a fucking bitch. It's not hard, it's just annoying as all fuck. It's another one of those climbing ones, except, you know, if you climb up over the top or if you fall down off the bottom, you will fall into the lava. And because it's not actually the screen rotating up, it's all the crap, it's everything else rotating down. The enemies stay in place more or less permanently, and because you're not jumping off the ground, you can't actually spin jump off them and take that shortcut. Believe me, I tried. Bullet bills as well, but they're not really a threat in this section. Kind of annoying, but you know. You'd probably rack up a shitload of points off them if you were of the mind to try it. Because you haven't hit the ground, it doesn't reset your score off of them, so it counts as them all off the same jump. Nearly died there a couple of times. This section's a bitch. Relatively speaking, it's still a lot better than some of the other stuff we've had to deal with. Thank fuck that's over. We've got a story line block here as well. Well, I can see what he means by enclosing walls, but subtle? Not a fucking chance. This game is about as blatant as Like, I'm not even certain what it's as blatant as, but it's as fucking blatant as something. Something very blatant. Now, let's just leave it at that. Grab the Firefly even though I don't need it. Oh, right, this is why I hated the level. Same trick as before. The screen itself isn't scrolling, the blocks are, which causes it to act a little bit weird. Which I'm guessing is actually the desired effect. Yeah, same trick as before. Except this time you have to worry about getting set on fire by those things leaping up at you. Once you've worked out the pattern, it's really just quite boring, quite repetitive. But if you didn't have, you know, some sort of save state feature, this level would fucking kill you. And you'd hunt down and kill the creator for thinking up a level like this. It kind of lends credence to my theory that this game was actually, this hack I should say, was actually designed purely for people playing with save states. Because if you were playing this, you know, as it was intended on the console, you'd be a very unhappy person indeed. Yeah, finishing this up, at least there's nothing consistently in the air. Those things will go up and down. They're not there constantly. Then fireproof enemies on a steep slope. That's a new one. I wish. Footballs. Lots of footballs. You know, fireball them for the hell of it. Not the final Yoshi coin. I missed one on this level. I don't know where it is. Probably, you know, slapping me in the fucking face when I replay it, but stuff it. It's not worth the effort. Going to see a skip to the third and final level I'm doing in this section. I'm going to palm it off on Ivold, I think, assuming he actually remembers to do it. With the Rope Rock Rumble for me, and then Fence Fracas, I think it's called for him. And I hate this level. I really, really hate this level. I shouldn't hate this level. There's nothing too bad about it. It's just, I hate this level. I really do. And there's no coherent explanation for why. It's a primal, deep-seething hatred. I think it may have something to do with how closed in the entire level is. Maybe. I don't know. Let's just leave it at primal seething hatred for everything. It works for me. Pretty repetitive, minimalist level, so... You know, it's the same old trap repeated a couple of dozen times, but it's... Okay, I can't call it fun. Challenging, maybe. Something along those lines. Yeah. Probably shouldn't have used the shell here, actually. I probably screwed myself with that. So yeah, we're going to take a hit and try and move up. That'll teach me to get too vindictive. Well, actually, it won't. I'll forget that lesson within about the next 5 minutes, but every time I rewatch this video, I'll be reminded, don't be so goddamn vindictive. And then I'll ignore that advice. Again and again. Halfway point here, so, you know, the trauma is almost over. The trauma's almost over for this entire actual game. Plotline. Well, you know, if somebody's been lying to you, you too would approach with indignation. Assuming you weren't scared of them, which I'm pretty certain Mario's not. Doesn't strike me as the sort that scares easy. Yeah, so this has actually gone from an underground level to an ice level, though at least you don't slide on those. And boulders. This is actually a lot more fun than the previous level and the earlier sections of this level. You know, it's basically a repeat of an earlier level in its style with the saw blades and the bouncing off of the fuzzies off a kid. But, you know, why mess with the classics? And at least it's, you know, it's moderately complicated, it's interesting. It's not piss simple like the earlier section was, though it's probably actually easier. You know, simplicity does not mention the same, does not mean the same thing as ease at all in this game. Including with that fucking Yoshi coin. I don't know why I decided to get all of them in this level. I'm guessing it's just because they were there. I mean, they're there in every level, but they're slapping you in the face in this one. Which is better than being slapped in the face by a Yoshi. I'm not certain how that'd work, because they don't seem to have any, you know, usable arms, but still. No, wait, sorry, they do. I'm not certain they're long enough to slap you unless you were leaning in and deliberately trying to get slapped, which kind of raises the question of why you're leaning in and asking to get slapped by a Yoshi. But I'm certain there's, you know, for everything there's someone out there who'd do it, including Yoshis. Originally, I actually thought this section you had to spin jump up off the rocks to get that Yoshi. Kind of spent a lot of time trying to work that one out. And afterwards, I'm wishing I'd realised that right at the beginning. So that's that level done. Palming it off on, or we'd better be palming it off onto iVolt for Fence Fracas, because I do not want to do any more of this shit whatsoever. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Fence Fracas. iVolt, you're up next. Fucking do it.